Alright, let's jump into this Drush FC tutorial. Alright, let's hope we have a good map for it, so it doesn't fail against gods. Not sure if I would recommend going Drush FC against goths. But that shouldn't change our plans now, so I'll stick with it. It's a Green Arabia map that usually favors Drush FC more than others, since it's more wallable. Usually, I already have a pretty good wood line. I feel like this is gonna be a good map for Drush FC. My gold should be around this area, so it should mean we have a back gold. I'm not gonna lure it here because I want to show you guys how to do this build order without the deer. Because sometimes you might just have shitty deer, or you need to explore your enemies, so... A deer is like a bonus, I would say. If you have one close by, you can just lure it in like a minute, and then you have a bit of an extra eco bonus. So... There is our main gold. It's good enough, honestly. Not the best, if he's like here, but... it should still be at the back. So far, normal build, 6 on sheep, 4 on wood, nothing too crazy. I'm still lacking 4 sheep, actually. Not sure if he lames though, although he did lame me last game. Then again, that was with 2 militias, so... his whole strategy was playing around that, so... Usually you also want to take the forward boar in case the enemy does lame. Less likely that he will lame the back boar, so... Okay, there are 2 sheep. When you Drush FC, you usually want to wall as little as possible, so that it doesn't hurt you. That does mean that I want to save my berries though with my walls. If you Drush FC, it's all about the power spike you get in Castlage and what you do with it. So I could have obviously just walled like this with a house here and maybe here, and then make a mill here and then just wall like this. But then again, you could just make 1-2 archers in Feudal Age, which isn't unlikely. And then you could just take me off berries. That's why I'm walling rather like this, and then from here to my TC. Okay, found all our sheep, that's very nice. Take the second boar. Next we'll make a house and then the barrack, and we should have a pretty good build so far. Nothing too crazy, nothing too hard. Next step is what you do with your militias. Most people see the militias as like free infantry units, who if they can kill a vill, that's great, but then they kind of have a wrong opinion about those. Militias aren't really there to kill vills, honestly, although if you kill a vill with 3 militias, and sure, go for it. It's great, but they're more units to buy time. That's what their priority is. They're not supposed to kill anything, because in theory, every good player will just send the vill back once they see 3 militias hitting you, because a villager is almost as fast as a militia, so it's not too hard to save villagers against a Drush. So we see our enemy walling already. 4 on wood. He has loom. And he's gods, so I guess doesn't really say anything. Okay, 19 vills. Usually I send 20th vill to wood for like the next 3 or 4 villages, depending on my save and the situation.
Leary win, Leary win, Leary win.
Thank you, Sauerkraut Gaming. Try to do that. Now you can do Drush FC with 2 lumber camps. It's obviously very possible, but usually you would need like something like an eco bonus for that. I obviously have Byzantines here, so I don't really have an eco bonus. I only have 3 bills and bears. I kinda messed up there. Usually when I have 5, actually, that's fine. Usually when I have 5 or 6 if you don't lure deer. Okay, he sees my Drush, it's all good. Okay, another lumber camp efficiency will be better as well. And as soon as you have the wood, after you make the barrack, you just want to add farms. 7 on lumber camp should be fine, shouldn't be more than that, otherwise it gets too efficient too fast. Okay, you slowly send your villagers to straggler trees, make as many farms as you can. What you can do here now is to send your villagers to deer, if you have them close. Which I should have done already. That's like also optional, right? Sometimes you can't not do that because sometimes they're here and the enemy is going man at arms or something. And yeah, so actually I should make loom already. Yeah, so you see these 3 militias? They're just buying time. They're not actually meant to kill anything. Everyone can just full wall against them and just run away, so I'm just buying time here, honestly. I'll try to run away as much as possible here. One more villain and we're up. I could have upped already, but I feel like we'll have some food issues because I also have to wall. Because the man-at-arms are going to be hitting my base after they killed my militias, so that's why I'm making one more villain than usual. Okay, getting some free hits there, obviously nice. Oh, keep running. Ah! My scout was dead anyway. I'm usually a fan of putting 5 wills in gold as well. Just because you want to make archers right away once you're in field ledge, once you have the range up. And usually if you only put 4 wills in gold, you will struggle to up and have fruit and have gold at the same time to make archers. That's why I usually put a 5th one while I'm up into field ledge. And yeah, these 3 militias are very well worth it at this point. They're basically denying any damage. What he could have done, obviously, is just sent those 3 men-at-arms straight up to me. That could have been something worth as well. That should have been his play, honestly. Should have done that. I don't think chasing my 3 militias does anything. But I also get some harassment here, so... Okay, if he doesn't pay attention, I'll obviously hit it. Gotta be careful here. I could have obviously also walled this whole side, but I feel like we're gonna be in feudal ledge fast enough so we can defend this. But that obviously depends on your timing, right? If you're up like 1 minute later, wall this. Because he will have 3 men-at-arms, he will have the archer, and then you're already screwed. In my position, I can afford having one side open. And this is also the side where he needs the most time to get to, right? Like he's still here with his man-at-arms, minute 14, so... And like this, we have pretty good resources without having a really great Drush of Seasif. We're just making a basic build order here. And yeah, man-at-arms arrive, we have an archer coming out, we're clicking up the castle edge, will be a 60-minute something uptime. Not too bad considering the small inefficiency we had in Dark Age. Now you can make eco upgrades. There are situations where you can skip horse collar, but since I have so much food, I don't mind doing it. Wall those vills in now. Now you don't have to make these quick walls if you're fully walled. That's still fine. He didn't have the HP to challenge me. Now we're gonna add a second range. I don't care about those militias, honestly. Make fletching, we already have all the eco upgrades. This is a pretty good build so far. Usually it doesn't matter how fast you're to castle edge, unless the enemy plays open, which is not the case usually these days. It more matters how your economy is looking. And my eco isn't the best, Since I'm Byzantines, I don't really have an eco bonus, I'm kind of getting harassed by mad arms. But I have pretty good army, I have pretty good pressure. And I have pretty good resources still. I have 400 food with all eco upgrades. With fletching done. Oh, this idle villager is not ideal. Obviously. Now I'm gonna go hit the enemy with those 4 xbow. I get some kills those mad arms before they harass my gold. I'm not gonna bother chasing since my reinforcements will deal with that. And usually now you have a couple of options. You will usually have around 300-400 food to work with, and you'll have to think about what to use it on, right? Usually, crossbow is always in need, because you need your army to defend against something usually, and it helps a lot if you have crossbows against archers or crossbows against scouts, because they deal 1 more damage and have 1 more range. And then you usually have enough food to make 1 extra upgrade, which is more expensive, like boso or Bolt King arrow. I was like, when I reached Castle Age, I had my expo like here, so they were too far away for me to make Bolt King arrow, so it wasn't really worth making it. I can still make it now, and they will have the same impact. And if I did it like 2 minutes ago, difference is now that I already have boso and have more food, more wood. Okay, double palisade, layer walls. And obviously Mako isn't the greatest, but we have boso, we have Bolt King arrow, we have better army. And if he wasn't double palisade layer walled, he would kind of be in troubles here. And if I wasn't housed. Could also make an argument for making like 2 less farms and make a TC. But then I wouldn't have Bolt King and then I wouldn't have boso. I would have more villas, but I usually prefer this route. I'm gonna make a TC here, since my wood is getting pretty inefficient here. Another house. You can still use the deer after you gain map control again. I'm gonna make +1 armor, just because I have the extra food to work with. Castle? That changes things. What was the stable for? Did you bait me or what? Okay, so in that case, I'm still gonna make a TC since my wood is just so inefficient. But now I'm just gonna switch into knights and some monks. And I'm gonna have better eco. I still have crossbows to work with. He's gonna want TC for a while if I had to guess, when I'm open there. I'll stop crossbow production for a bit. I'll need a stable or a monastery. Now I will use stable just because I have enough food to make knights. Then I will just work with my aim timing, since I'm Byzantines. That's actually a bonus which helps me, so... I'll have enough wood in a second. Gotta be careful here though. There are like 3 Huskarls coming. They're kinda annoying to deal with if you have crossbow. I'm still gonna make crossbow because I wanna do arbalest. They're still pretty useful to defend, since they do 14 damage if you have 14 crossbow. 1 damage each. This is the downside if you only go for 1 lumber camp. Now they're kinda working inefficient. I'll make a second lumber camp here, honestly. Maybe I'm a TC there, actually. Yeah, I'll make a TC there. I can afford it. I have enough food. Now I'm just gonna stop making crossbow. I'm gonna make a monastery to make use of my gold that way. Since I will stop making crossbows, I will bank up enough gold. And yeah, now it's pretty much a straightforward game where both players are walled and No one can really do damage. And yeah. I don't really want to move out because I have no clue how many numbers he has. It could just be the case that he's going 1TC and has like 10 Huskars and I'll lose all my army. And that will obviously result in me dying in Castle Age. I don't want to show him the knights yet. No reason to. But as you can see, they're still very useful to defend. I'll take the relic. Against Goths, you usually want to have two army compositions, like knights, crossbows, or skirms, knights. Because if you only go for one unit type, they can easily counter that. Like if I go full knights now, and I didn't have any crossbow, you could just go pikes and push me. And if I don't make the transition into knights, you could just go full Huskars and push me. As long as you have two army compositions, you're still good. I think I'm gonna make a gate. I think I can move out soon. And I can debate him a little. I wanna do a wheelbarrow as well. Okay, that's fine. Now he will think we're screwed because we don't have any uppers on the knights. That's kind of awkward. But that's fine. I'll convert to full HP one. Now I can start making some crossbow again. Actually, because I still want to have two army compositions in Imp, right? I want to have Cav and Arbalest, ideally. I'm pretty sure he's booming behind this. Otherwise, the score would be more in favor of me. Gotta be careful I don't get bada boom though. This workshop is kind of annoying. I have 2 golds and 2 stones forward, so it's not really ideal, but I have to deal with it. It's an extra gold, I'll take that. Wait, he has another barrack there. It might mean he's going full castlage, in which case we have to do the same. Usually I could just go for a castle, for defensive castle, and really go up to castle age, I mean to him. But since I have 2 stone piles in front of my base, outside of my walls, it's not really an option, so... And I have to play castle age here against him, since our map doesn't allow us to play greedy. And now you have 2 army compositions. I'll snipe the pikes with my crossbow, and my knights will do the rest. Not even have to do anything crazy here, honestly. I tried to do something fancy with my crossbow, snipe the pikes, but there's no need. No, I'm pretty sure. What? I didn't do horse color? Dude, I was so sure I clicked horse color. What the hell? I had so much food. I was so sure I clicked it. I have to heal those knights. Where are the relics actually? I guess that explains why I had so much food. Now, I did a couple more farms than usual, because I wanted to be aggressive, but... it was still too much for my taste. Especially with a save like Byzantines, which doesn't really have an eco bonus. I will need a university anyway, so I might as well do it now. Micro here. I can't see the pikes really. Knights trade very fine against Huskars. All good here. Yeah, we're just taking good fights here. Wish I had a oh, there's my marker. That was a good up already. Would obviously be ideal. Castle there. I can't even take this. Force him to take a bad fight again. So at least we get something out of that cast placement. What? I'm still missing a build. Dude, there's no way I'm still missing. I have so much resources and I can't use them. At this point I'm just playing sloppy, honestly. I am just playing bad. I'm still in a decent position because, well, because we did the right steps to win the game, but we kind of... this fucking monastery, I think this fucking university, dude. Why do I have to make it forward? Honestly. I'm lacking gold as well. Oh no, wrong. Off spam is getting very annoying. Gotta say. Need more stables. We'll just have to raid him. Don't really have access to stone. These are the effects, the side effects from not doing horse color. Rip all my farms. He's just waiting to overchop here as well. Dude, this hurts so much not having a horse color. You have no idea. Man, I get it. I didn't have horse color. Relax now. Pike. Whoa! Oh, dude, I have to send units there as well. That should still be a good fight. I already have Fumbring? I forgot I have 2k food at some point. Forgot about that, to be honest. What? Still open there? What the hell? Maybe I should use my monks one day, huh? To convert something. That would be something. I still need a university, that's the worst part. What are these fools doing outside? I have to raid as well. Otherwise, imp. This will get tricky. If I don't have access to stone or gold, since he's taking my resources. One hole after the other one. This is... man. This is so annoying. We'll find some counter damage, though. I have to send those crossbows out as well. These aren't really doing anything, neither are the castles. I just need some gold. I kind of wasted my raid. Kind of wasted 15 calf there. Let's stop making lumber camps there. I have to send these to raid, honestly. Otherwise, this will never stop these raids. Ballistics could help as well. Focus the pikes. I might have lost this game though. Our Ezekiel is just too big. Too many holes, too many slip-ups in Castle Age. And well, having 2 goals forward doesn't help, and 2 stones. Maybe Champs could have been a play, honestly. Hanging out there, really. Maybe it's still worth making a transition to Champs here. Also, not having bloodlines kinda hurts. I have no extra gold. Once this gold is out, it'll kinda look rough. And this is the downside of Drush FC. You're kinda vulnerable to get pushed in Castle Age, because you kinda greedily go into Castle Age in a fast time with crossbow, and then he just makes counter units and you have to switch to knights, so Eco is still fragile. And if you have like 2 stones and 2 golds forward, you're kinda vulnerable to this push. I could have still won this game if I played better, if I didn't slip up so many times, but it's always something to keep in mind as well. If you have a map like this, if you have 1 back gold, a good one, but then your other resources are just in no man's land, and you're against Goff as well, who is one of the most well-known saves to 1TC push, all in. You usually just play heavy army and feud like Mad Arms, Scouts, Archers, something like that in Feud Legend. Try to pressure him, right? Instead of just sitting back, booming. It could, I mean, this could work as well, don't get me wrong, but you have to play really clean in order for this to work. It's way easier to play as the aggressor and the defender in this spot, so. It's like you see, like, I overchopped here, I didn't have the walls ready here, so I lost like 10 vills here, overchopped here, lost another 10, overchopped here, another 5 vills down. Here I would have overchopped, so it's way harder for me to play the game perfectly than it is for him. But yeah, I hope you could still learn something from this game. I think the Drush FC was still pretty fine. Had a 16-minute Castle Age time with good resources. I did forget Horse Collar, which was a slip-up, a big one as well, which turned out to be pretty big. Because at some point my farms all just ran out. There was a point where there were like a few minutes where I just had like 25 farms running out and I couldn't make any other building. So yeah, I would have had the economy to make Horse Collar, but I thought I clicked it, but apparently I didn't. I'm not sure what happened there. And yeah, he just went all in Castle Age and had more vills at the end because he raided me.